Hello everyone, this is Dragons After Dark, and welcome to the Pet Battle Report, your weekly news and information source for all things pet battle. It's been a couple of weeks since the last report, and I've been busier than a Storm Song Valley bee updating articles, playing the new 10.0.7 patch, and chasing Ash. That's why this is coming to you on a Thursday instead of a Wednesday. We're going to get into some of that once we go over the news for the week on Azeroth and beyond. With the launch of 10.0.7, the Forbidden Reach has given us the opportunity to collect 4 pets that are mini versions of the enemies we battle to get them. These are single target fights, kind of. To receive the battle pet, you must fight the mini boss pets in the area around the elemental. Once you defeat enough enemies to reduce the elemental down to rare, the size and buff will change on the enemy. You can fight the elemental for the pet. I'll be putting out a video this weekend that shows you'll only require 4 pets to defeat all legendary, epic, and rare fights, making you good to go no matter what you're facing. As a side note, if you're looking to make strategies without having the elemental disappear on you once you defeat them, try heading over on one of your sub 70 alts that are in the Dragon Isles. You can battle the enemy repeatedly without it triggering the vanishing because sub 70s can't see the world quests on the Forbidden Reach. Therefore, it doesn't complete. If you're not into making strategies and or you want more information about these fights, head on over to Zufu's Pet Guides and check out the Forbidden Reach section beneath Dragonflight on the main bar. If you want to know which enemy is up for the day, drop on by the pet discords listed below, my Twitter, or the World of Warcraft NA Pet Battle forums. RemT and I put out a report each day letting you know what pet activities you can check out for that day and week. Speaking of the daily reports, with the release of 10.0.7, we saw a major jump in the number of pet rewards, since it appears as though the pet battles in Dragonflight don't reward non-pet battle items like supplies. So far, NA has the record for the highest number of charms available in a single day with 171, as well as the highest number of rare stones in a day at 6. There were other pets, of course, to collect around the Forbidden Reach area with the newly implemented patch, such as in the Ziskara vaults and from rare enemies around the Forbidden Reach. And of course, we have all of the new battles that are on the continent. We received a team fight and a single enemy fight for each of the previous Dragonflight zones, bumping the number of fights in each zone to 4. As for what's going on this week, we have Cataclysm Timewalking, and you're not going to want to miss out on the Firelands Timewalking raid. We'll go over the reason why in a little bit, but other than that, you can expect boss drops from the raid with Blazehound, Cinderweb Recluse, Infernal Pyreclaw, and Surger. As for the vendor, we have the usual Strand Crawler dropping from the bag of fishing treasures, which you can purchase for 150 time-warped badges each. The Maw Assaults until Friday evening reset is Necrolord, giving you the chance to craft Lil A-Bomb, who seems to have lost bits of themselves everywhere, and a chance to receive fodder from the Assault Cache. Once that switches over, we'll be working with the Kyrian, where you can work on getting a Sly Fox achievement progress to receive the pet Sly, check to see if the Sinfall Screecher treasure is up, and have a chance to receive the Copperback Etherworm from the Assault Cache. Moving on to BfA, the islands for the week are Crestfall, Dreadchain, and the Verdant Wilds, while the salvage are Havenswood, Yorindal, and the Ungol Ruins. As for Enzoth Assault, he's hanging out in Uldum this week, which means we have a chance for the Pyre of the Amalgamated One bonus objective to spawn, which spawns a rare, who in turn has a chance to drop the Wicked Lurker battle pet. So keep an eye out on the daily reports to see if the Pyre is up. Also, don't forget, if you still need to complete your Rock Lover achievement to get the Battle Pet Pebbles, RemT and I hold on to the daily so we can share it with others. Just hop on Discord and ping RemT for EU and me for NA. Keep in mind you do need to have the Therazane dailies unlocked, and you can't be in Deep Home when we share it. As a reminder, there's only one more day left on the trading post to purchase your items, like the Pandaren Monk if you haven't yet. As for what's next, do you think we'll get another new pet or a throwback? Before we get into the big news of the week, let's go over our pet spotlight. Today we're taking a look at the cursed Berman. This undead pet is a little sneaky in how valuable it can be. It has two great options to combine with Prowl, Call Darkness, and Spirit Spikes. I like to use Prowl and Call Darkness to take out an enemy with one offensive attack, but this combo isn't unique to the Berman. What is unique is the Prowl and Spirit Spikes combo. This combination is perfect against enemies that use multi-hit attacks like Flock in a consistent way, letting you time this out to satisfying perfection. The first hit of Spirit Spikes does not consume Prowl, so you get a Prowl buffed version of Spirit Spikes each time you're hit. And because it's an undead pet, your chances of worrying about being taken out before you can land this are lessened. It also has Spirit Claws, which can be handy if the weather happens to be moonlight, since it'll hit like a truck against critters. I found this pet to be perfect for a couple of the 1007 enemies, so let's hear it for the Cursed Berman, one of the more underrated undead kitties. Now for the big to-do that took the pet community by storm the last couple of days, the Secret Finders discovered a new pet, Wishwing. Wishwing was one of the models data mined in the alpha/beta and landed on the name Smoldering Phoenix Hatchling before everything about this pet went radio silent. Thanks to a player named Epic who discovered a fair share of the key information needed to collect this pet, we can now go forth and collect this adorable little phoenix. At the end of the many hours of farming you're going to go through to get this pet, you'll turn in the items to Tarjan the Blind for the quest Tale of the Phoenix, which will in turn reward you with Wishwing. This is where the Firelands Timewalking raid comes in. You'll need to head in and kill Elisrazor for a glittering Phoenix Ember, and the kicker is this will only drop on the Timewalking version, which means if you miss this week, you'll need to wait around until the next Timewalking Cataclysm is up on rotation. Aside from that time gauge, I wasn't kidding when I said you'll spend hours farming items. The worst of it is the 20 inert Phoenix Ash you need from the Scorching Elementals in Ungoro. The problem is these mobs are gray, so they'll be one-shotted by anyone doing this farm, and there are only about 5 of them up at a time, and they share a spawn point with identical mobs called Living Blazes that don't drop the inert Ash. And you might be thinking, well, that's not so bad as long as the drop rate isn't terrible. I hate to break this to you, but according to Wowhead, the drop rate is a whopping 0.07. We do have to take this percentage with a grain of salt because it could be including all of the other times that people have uploaded their data into Wowhead prior to this item even being available. However, the average most people report is 1 per hour if you're not competing with other players, and don't forget you need 20. As for the other items you'll need, you can head over to Zufu's where I've written up a guide with Remti's help on everything you need to do to collect this pet. Best of luck to everyone trying to collect Wishwing, and may RNG be ever in your favor. Before we continue with news of what's come up on the PTR with patch 10.1, let's take a moment to go over our strategy spotlight for the week. In honor of 10.0.7, we're looking at to-be-deleted strategy for Excavator Morgrim Emberflint and the Sharpest Flint World Quest. This strategy is great for those who have some of the usual pets on standby since it uses an Iron Starlet, Mechanical Pandaren Dragonling, and Icky. The Iron Starlet eats through the first pet, the Enchanted Tuskling, like it's nothing, and can take a nice little chunk from pet 2. The MPD is the perfect fit against Lord Flappinsby with its breath attack, while Icky comes in and cleans up against the Feral Frog Duck with Black Claw and Flock. It's the perfect fit for this classic lineup, so a big thank you to Be Deleted for their strategy. Moving on to 10.1, so if you don't want spoilers, go ahead and skip ahead. We got an update to the PTR, and I'm happy to report we've discovered the source for the final baby phoenix from the alpha/beta. The yellow model, previously dubbed as Time Lost Phoenix Hatchling, is now named Gerald, and is given as a reward for completing the new set of family achievements in the Zaralek Caverns. As of right now, there are only 4 tamers listed for the achievement, and given the size of the cavern, I'm not sure we'll see more. If we do, I wager there'll be single target enemies, but again, it might just be these 4. In addition to that, it looks like we'll be getting a weekly quest to collect so far 3 of the snails by participating in snail races, though one of the quests is bugged currently in that it rewards the incorrect snail. The 4th snail, Roggy, is part of an achievement to help each of the snails win, and it has a helmet. I'm loving all the fashionable pets this expansion, and as a result, I'd love to see a battle pet transmog feature. Something that's exciting for pet battlers is, as of right now, we're getting a critter pet that does mechanical damage. We don't have any critter pets currently that do mechanical damage, which is strong versus beasts, and the best part is, Cobble Shell, a snail, is a wild pet. We also got a source for Chef Roland the Rat. He'll be rewarded for the achievement, The Gift of Cheese. Now, if you've been doing your Zizcara Vault, you might have noticed a little persnickety rodent called the Recipe Rat. You need to negotiate with him for his recipe by giving him cheese. As of right now, you can negotiate if you don't have any cheese, but it will disappear from your bags and you'll have to pick it back up. Once you get 30 recipe scraps, they form the Rat-cipe, deviously deviled eggs. You'll need this recipe for the achievement where you go around and feed 50 hungry rats across Azeroth. I'll be testing this out soon to see if there are specific rats needed or if any old rat will do, so more on that next week. As for some of the new models, I am head over heels in love with the new mouse models. They are beyond adorable, and I think the teams did a fantastic job with them. Of course, now I want to be greedy and beg for all the mice and rats to look like them. They're just so darn cute. Other than that, we still have a lot of pets with sources listed as unknown, and hopefully they don't get pushed to live servers this way, since a couple of pets in 10.07 still aren't sporting any sources, so keep your fingers crossed there. And I think that's it for the news and topics. There's just been so much going on the last couple of weeks. Every time I turn around, something new was popping up. Before we go, my tip for the week is for anyone struggling with the single enemy boss pets that came up in 10.07 or any others for that matter. Your best bet when dealing with these enemies is to hit them with dots and or investment effects like Curse of Doom or Creeping Insanity. Then you'll need something to help mitigate that boss buff. Your two best bets to mitigate it completely are anything that gives them shattered defenses or attack them with Ravage Strike. Just keep in mind that Ravage Strike will also increase the amount of damage the enemy does, so use it with an undead pet if you think it's going to hit you too hard. We have other abilities that do 25% increased damage, which does help mitigate the boss buff a little bit, like Flyby, Acidic Goo, Fight and Flight, and Unholy Ascension. Once that's on, you'll either defeat it with standard attacks on that pet, or, if you need your third pet, bring in something that does strong damage against your enemy. And if you need a little help figuring out what does strong damage, use your rematch filters. Hit the arrow drop down near the search bar in the left-hand side and go to the Strong Versus tab for a list of pets that fit your needs. If you don't have a lot of max level pets, then use the scaling to your advantage in the expansions where it applies, which is everything BfA and beyond. Anything previously to BfA, you will still need higher level pets to defeat the enemy. However, with scaling, the enemies will only be the same level as the highest level pet on your team, so throw some level 1s at it to see what you can do. Anywho, that's going to be it for me this week. I'll have all the pertinent links available on my tweet for the podcast, as well as in the description once it's uploaded to YouTube. Until next time, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day or night, and happy battling!